and welcome to ranking every Marvel movie from, my favourite to my least favourite. Little overdue. I mean, what, this was a trend like, 2-3 years ago, I feel, when Endgame was out. It's, I'm late. Regardless, I'm here. I'm going to record it anyways. I'm obsessed with Marvel, and I decided to finally use that to my advantage and make videos on it, so you can expect some Marvel content coming your way soon, lads. I've made a tier thing, so I'm going to be ranking every movie, including Black Widow, which I went to see yesterday, like the second they released. I was like, oh, she's gorgeous. Not including the Incredible Hulk, because I've never seen it, because I don't really care about it. As you can see on screen, I have got a tier list set up. I've got all the films except for the Incredible Hulk. I've got best, I've got great, I've got good, I've got meh, and I've got shit. Starting off in the shit tier, the absolute worst MCU movie. I'm a pretty big fan of the MCU, so like I don't really want to say any of the films are shit, but it's a very, very obvious one. It's Thor: The Dark World. The film, it was a little dodgy. I mean, this guy, he was our main fella, and he didn't really pack much of a punch. I mean, he did pack a punch. He did, murder Thor's so didn't like it. I thought it went on for too long. It's the kind of film you watch it once, you don't watch it again. Although I will admit to, I've watched it twice. I am a trustworthy MCU source, okay? I've sat through Thor: The Dark World twice. I think I know what I'm talking about. I did quite like Loki in it. He was a great character, and overall it's not that memorable. Moving on to the meh tier, because I don't think any other ones could really be considered shit. I'm gonna put Captain Marvel in meh. I just don't like Captain Marvel. I don't think the timing for the film was the best. I just personally didn't like the character. It's an objectively bad film. The script wasn't great. Brie Larson, she's good, but they just did not do enough for her in this film. She just was. It was meh. Any other meh films? I would say Iron Man 2. The villain, what's his name? Volka or something like that. I can't remember it because I don't really care enough about it. I love Tony Stark. He is like my main man. Iron Man 2 I was not a big fan of. I do like it because it introduced Natasha Romanoff, and I am in love with her. The villain, Volker. Oh, what was his name? Fucking hang on. Iron Man 2 villain Whiplash. Fucking yeah. Ivan Volker. Ivan Vanko Whiplash was not interesting. Justin Hammer though, he was brilliant, I think he was like the worst characteristics of Tony Stark just smashed into one asshole that you would love to punch in the face. I'm really thinking about this here because I am a very biased fan. Say Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man. I think the casting of Paul Rudd, incredible. He's hilarious. But I just think the film overall, forgettable villain. Yellow jacket, zipping around places. Not a fan of wasps or ants or bugs in general. They kind of weird me out. So was not a big fan of him. It was funny. It's a rewatchable to an extent. And introduced the quantum realm. The quantum realm as well, which is obviously plays a pretty big part in the MCU, as we well know. Moving on to the good tier though, because this is where majority of them are going to go, in good and great, okay? Captain America First Avenger is probably my least favourite in his trilogy. I thought it was very, very good. Like, I enjoyed it, and it's very rewatchable as well, and it was kind of gritty and grounded, like World War II, yeah. So like, Red Skull, great villain, yanking his face off, absolute legend. Bucky Barnes, my guy, he was in it. A good one, I'm gonna put Iron Man 3. Now, I'm biased because the Iron Man films were the first MCU films I ever watched. Iron Man 1, 2 and 3. I remember Iron Man 3 from my childhood. People think it's really, really bad. They don't like it at all. I have a soft spot in my heart for it, you know? I think what pissed people off about the film was the twist about the Mandarin not actually being the Mandarin. That pissed people off, but I actually enjoyed it. I didn't think it was expected to be some shitty actor. I do like the way that it tackled Tony's anxiety after the, you know, events of the Avengers, because think about it this way, right? Anyone who doesn't like the film, you shoot yourself up into space with a fucking nuke. With a nuke. Straight up there. You think you're dying. Your girlfriend doesn't answer the phone. You're gonna have some problems. I have problems and I haven't even got to space with a nuke. I think Thor is a very good film. I think Thor 1 is very underrated. There was too much use of that like one shot though. I can't remember the name of it, but with the camera with like in a very weird angle. There was so many uses of that. But I really liked Thor 1. Like, the Frost Giants, Loki, Thor having to prove himself to be worthy again. It was a really good introduction for him into the MCU, because you consider we only had Iron Man 1 and 2 before that, and then we had Thor. Like, there was nothing. Like, the MCU started with Tony Stark, you know, but it's pretty believable. It was pretty grounded. Some rich billionaire builds a metal suit and has a big ego. So then they go from that to bringing people up in space with hammers. I really liked it, and I really do like it, and I will rewatch it. I got my Ant-Man and the Wasp in good. I think it was better than the first Ant-Man. I love what Hope done with her hair. Really suited her. I really liked the villain. Ghost, she was pretty good. Dealt with after the events of Civil War. The end credit scene, that was very good. That set up Endgame pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Into the great tier. We're gonna start it off. Thor Ragnarok, oh man, Thor Ragnarok is hilarious. Chris Hemsworth is a beautiful man. You'd shift him on a night out. You really would. I wouldn't, but you would. Thor's character has always been funny. There's this misconception that they completely like rewrote Thor's character in Ragnarok to be just a total joke. He was always funny, you know, but they just really played it up. So I think it was a great film. Like, it's great. Next in, great Black Panther. I mean, no need to argue with it. Chadwick Boseman, an absolutely incredible actor. The villain, Killmonger, great villain. He had some very strange ideals. He did have some great ideals, and it was very kind of grounded and realistic in that sense as well. I don't think it's personally not my favourite. I know it's up there for some people. It's one of the highest grossing Marvel films as well. I think Black Panther is great. The CGI at the end, I think we all know that was a little dodgy, but that's no fault of the actors. I think it's a great film, and it's rewatchable, it's funny. One critique, I think in Civil War, Black Panther was a little more badass. That's just me. Speaking of Civil War, we're going to put Civil War as great. You know, the Sokovia Accords, Secretary Ross, dodgy fella. Sure, I mean, you know what Civil War happened in the comics, and it was very different. But the way that they brought it from the comics to the screen, they couldn't have done it any better, because they wouldn't have been able to do everything it done in the comics in one film. As a Captain America film, it felt like an Avengers film in a way. You know, it did focus a lot on Tony Stark and him suffering with, you know, the loss of his parents. He had to face the fact that Bucky, you know, I stand by this. If Civil War never happened, if the Sokovia Accords never happened, Thanos would have been bet in Infinity War. It would have happened. They would have had more time to get to Wakanda. They would have more time to get the stone out of Vision. Wanda probably wouldn't have lost her shit and held the whole town hostage. So many things wouldn't have happened if Civil War hadn't have happened, and that's why I think Civil War is so important. And I think it's a great film. It's absolutely great. I loved. See, you can say, oh, right, in the comments, let me know if you're in the comments. Let me know if you know, Team Cap, Team Iron Man, whatever. I'm neither. I am Team Natasha, because she wanted to keep those together. I'm also leaning more towards Iron Man because I can understand why. But Team Natasha, she just wanted them to be friends, and that is so sad. The cinematography and the whole, and the shield and the, you know, it was incredible. It was brilliant, but I didn't want to see it happen. Great. I mean, I won't put in the best, but just personally speaking, it's not my favourite. Avengers, you know, the original one. It's Avengers, directed by Joss Whedon. dodgy man. It's a fucking great film. It's hilarious. Loki is a great villain. We all know that. I think it was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. What more can you say? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Another great film. Don't like it as much as I like Guardians of the Galaxy 1. But it's brilliant. The cast for the Guardians of the Galaxy is perfect. Could not have done it better. It's fantastic. Another good one we have is Spider-Man Homecoming. Fantastic. I think the villain was brilliant in it, and the whole twist of him being, you know, your one's dad, like, I think that was great, and it dealt with the responsibilities of having to be Spider-Man. I really liked it. I think it's brilliant. And another Spider-Man, I'm putting Far From Home there. I love Far From Home. I prefer it over Homecoming. Mysterio, incredible villain. Jake Gyllenhaal, incredible actor. Tom Holland, he's a great Spider-Man. He is quirky, he's funny, he's a great Spider-Man, you know? I don't know if I'd say he's the best. I'm really on the fence about which Spider-Man's my favourite, but that's not what I'm talking about here. The Avengers Age of Ultron, and I don't care what anyone says, Age of Ultron is criminally underrated. It's hilarious. It plays so much into the bigger picture of the whole Infinity War and Endgame. We get Vision, we get Wanda. It's brilliant. I don't understand what people don't like about Age of Ultron. I really and truly think it is criminally underrated. It's not the best Avengers film, but it's a great film. But Doctor Strange is good because I liked it. I did not have much interest in the villain Caecilius. I have a little pop of him, but I just was not that interested in him. I didn't find him to be very compelling. The cinematography and the visuals were absolutely fantastic. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is absolutely incredible. I love Doctor Strange. He would be one of my favourite characters in the MCU. I think he's great, and I really like the film, and I cannot wait for Multiverse of Madness. I am so excited for Multiverse of Madness. It is not even normal. I'm putting Endgame in great. I'm not putting in the best. For that reason is, Endgame is brilliant, you know, the way it managed to tie so many films together and just completely connect it into this one, it was brilliant. But Endgame was more fan service than it was a high quality film. There was a lot of loopholes with the whole time travel thing, and it's opened up so many different plot holes. They killed Natasha though. They killed my man Tony. They killed my girl Natasha. They had no regrets in doing so. Broke my heart, sobbed, I bawled, I was uncontrollably sobbing. But I killed Captain America too. I didn't kill him, but I think it's safe to say the man's kind of, you know, he's a goner by now, I'd imagine. Some super soldier heroine can only get you so far. We're going to begin my top 5. I'm going to go from my least favourite in my top 5 to my absolute favourite MCU movie. I'm putting Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I think it's hilarious. The cast is once again brilliant. It is so funny, and just the complete fucking madness of it. It's brilliant. It's an absolute top-notch film. I love it. Next, I'm putting Black Widow. I only saw that yesterday, and it is easily one of my favourite MCU movies ever. Black Widow is so grounded, it's heartfelt, it's heartbreaking. The action in it is incredible. It's such a good film, and it's a film that she deserved for so long. End credits scene had me bawling. It took me from crying to just pure shock. It's an incredible film. I love Captain America and the Winter Soldier because it's so grounded and it's like a spy thriller kind of movie. That's what like Black Widow is like. I haven't felt like that watching a film, an MCU film, in a very long time. It's so, you know, it's spies undercover and all that kind of cool stuff. It feels real. Like this is something that during like the Cold War era and all that kind of stuff was going on, and like they had sleeper agents, you know. Actually, oh god, I don't want to spoil it, but like it feels real. It feels like something in this could have happened. I mean, obviously not everything in it, but like the kind of base plot could happen. Putting Iron Man 1, the film that made me fall in love with the MCU, the film that started the MCU. Where would we be without it? Where would we be without that film? Like, There's people on TikTok, right, and they say, oh, Tony Stark, you know, Tony Stark would have bought Trump. No, he fucking wouldn't. Right? He's making weapons, yeah. Bit dodgy. He admits it's wrong, and the second that he realizes what those weapons are, like, what's going down, he stops it, and then, you know, Obadiah Stane is like, no, I ain't gonna stop that. And so, you know, it's brilliant. I love it. My second favourite is Infinity War. I mean, for obvious reasons, it's heartbreaking. They killed my girl Gamora. Thanos, dodgy fella, dodgy chin. I mean, same. Like, if you want to be dead inside, this is the film that you watch. It just breaks you, but it's so good that you have to let it break you. Now, for my absolutely favourite MCU film, there is only one left, and it is Captain America and the Winter Soldier. My favourite. It's really cinematically good. Like, those fight scenes are incredible with the shaky cam, but the way they've done it is incredible. The fight, the action is insane. It's like a spy thriller. It feels so grounded, it feels so real, it's so rewatchable. If I am in a bad mood, I watch this. If I am in a good mood, I watch this. No matter what mood I'm in, I'm watching Captain America and the Winter Soldier because I absolutely love it. Captain America is not even my favourite Avenger. I love him in this. I love Natasha Romanoff. I love Black Widow in this. Like, she is incredible in this for more than one reasons. I mean, look. Her and Steve's relationship in this is absolutely brilliant. And then of course there's the Falcon, Anthony Mackie. He's brilliant. Bucky Barnes' story is absolutely heartbreaking. He was manipulated and brainwashed into being an assassin, a deadly assassin with a very cool arm, but like, it's fucked up, and that's why I love it. And you know, what's there not to love about a very fucked up story? That is my complete ranking of the MCU. It was a little all over the place, and I probably need to brush up on some of my memory of this other storylines I'm not as much of a fan of. If you did enjoy it and you would like to see more MCU related content, you can hit the subscribe button down below. It would mean a lot to me. If you did enjoy, also give it a like. Follow me on Twitter. I rant a lot. Stay tuned for more content. I'm still kind of in the stages of figuring out what I want to do YouTube wise. Now that I'm done the Leaving Cert, I can do a lot more. I want to make some MCU content because I really enjoy it, you know. It's something I like talking about. I like to talk. I'm also going to be starting streaming, so I've set up a Twitch channel. Stay tuned. I haven't got a whole lot going on at the moment, but I will get there eventually. Thank you very much for watching, and don't watch Thor: The Dark World. Watch me instead, because even I am more entertaining than that.